the story. That's right. So the story goes like this. There was a guy. Let's call the guy. What do we want to call the guy? See, we got Keith Henry. We don't want to call it. Let's call him Charles. Let's just call him Charles. Chuck. Chuck. Let's call him Charles. Charles. Now, I don't know if we want to use Charles. We want to use Charles. We want to use Charles. How many people in there is Charles? Let's use Charles. Charles is a normal guy, average height, average looks, average build, average intelligence. That's an average guy. He goes to high school, does the right thing, makes a 3.0, gets into a opportunity to go to a state school, not on scholarship. He goes, and he wasn't the captain of the football team, so he didn't get the head cheerleader at college. That wasn't how it was. He may have blossomed later. He didn't have a mustache at ninth grade. Maybe he grew, towards his junior or senior year. He went to the prom. He had a date. He's not an awkward guy. He's not a socially weird or whatever. He's a normal guy. Went to college, went to a university, whether he commuted or lived on campus, and he meets Kim. No, Harry. We're gonna change the name from Charles. We're gonna change the name to Harry. Charles is not Harry. Harry meets Kim. Harry meets Kim. Sorry, Checo. Harry meets Kim. He meets Kim halfway through his freshman year. Freshman year, Kim's on the yard, and Kim is, average looking herself. She's not a beauty queen. She's not one of those women that the athletes, the jocks went after automatically. She's not one of the freshmen that the Noops ran up on, because you know how we did. We came at him. When we saw him get on the yard, we came at him. But she's a good girl. Harry was an accounting major. Kim was a marketing major. Or a psychology major, even better. Kim was a psych major. And Harry was an accounting major. They met freshman year halfway through, and they hit it off. They went back to each other's dorm room. They had little dominoes, watched a movie, maybe Netflix, whatever. Pick your poison. They met either freshman year or the sophomore year, either or. Maybe the second semester of the freshman year. So they had a little time in the university. Then they went out. They were a couple from sophomore year, late freshman year, through sophomore year. But somewhere around senior year, junior year, second semester, Kim all of a sudden decides to pledge a sorority, or she loses that freshman 15, or she goes away for the summer, and all of a sudden she comes back with all these new ideas. She then came back, and her friends who went to Stanford and Caltech and NYU and everybody that come back, and they're like, yeah, girl, I met this guy over here. He's a lawyer. And all of a sudden, Harry ain't looking like Harry used to look. Kim is looking at Harry and is like, he's a good guy, but ain't anything wrong with him. I like him. I love him. I know he loves me, but he's just kind of boring. He's kind of boring. And yeah, girl, I'm up here dating football players and basketball players, and I'm a lobbyist and this and that. Next thing you know, Kim is telling Harry at the end of the junior year, it ain't you, it's me. We need to break up because I got to go get ready to graduate, and I don't want anything that's going to trip me up. I don't want anything too serious. I got to be able to go where the opportunities are. Have we heard this story before, guys? Have we seen this picture? And Harry is devastated over the summer. Kim has gone out to hot girl summer because she's 21. At this time, 22. Oh, she can pull anybody around these age because she's still fine, young, attending all our college parties. She getting into the clubs and everything else. Harry just turned 21, broke, the bottom of his potential. Even if he get into the club, he can't afford the drinks. Damn sure can't park VIP. Kim is getting all the attention. Kim comes back her senior year, and she is doing it. She's interviewing. Next thing you know, she sees Harry. She's cool with Harry. Kim actually goes, she decides to get on that carousel a little bit because she never really got that out of her system. And then it starts getting around. Hey, man, did you used to kick it with Kim? Sophomore, junior year? Yeah, man. I saw over there with Trav, man. I saw over there with Dante. Yeah, man. Damn, Roger told me, and next thing you know, Harry's on the yard hearing the love of his life just getting, she's with these old F-boys. And he's like, dang, why are you going with these dudes? These dudes have horrible reputations. One of these dudes even got that STD luggage. But she just out here, and he like, and then Harry still care about Kim, so even still trying to check up on her. He's simping. So anyway, this goes on. Kim is on top of the world. Harry's, because she went from one monkey branch to another. Nobody quite want Harry because once a woman break up with you on the yard and go into another one, you got the scarlet letter. They're like, ooh, what's wrong with him? He must not be this. So he goes this senior year by himself. Graduates, gets a job in the same city. But guess what? After graduation, Kim goes to get her job in HR somewhere, making $36,000 a year in Dallas or Atlanta. Let's give her 40. And Harry's making 40 himself. 45. Not much more, but still more. But she's still a youngster. She's out in Atlanta in the big city with her new apartment, and she's shopping at IKEA or West Elm, and she's getting all the little shit. She's going to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and now she's in the gym, and she's going to Fashion Nova and getting these little things and going out here and here and here, and she's at this patio and that patio and this rooftop and that rooftop. She is out doing the damn thing on Instagram and Instacart and Facebook Live and all this other stuff, and they're still friends. They see her, and everywhere you see Kim, she everywhere. But what you don't see is Kim's relationship status changing. You don't see Kim's relationship status change. This always says it's complicated. And then people who used to know Kim find her on Bumble, Tinder, POF, all this other kind of stuff. Next thing you know, you look up and weirdo, lame-o Harry messed around and got a girlfriend. And they're in a relationship. Get back to Kim. Somebody tell Kim, hey, man, I remember Harry, the guy you used to kick it with in college? Yeah, girl, he's engaged to Janet. They're getting married. Kim feels some kind of way. Kim is feeling some kind of way by this time. And what did Kim say? Oh, you let a good one get away. Yeah, girl. He wouldn't start his own accounting practice or whatever. Even if he decided to not kick it with Janet, they run into each other at a college game, a homecoming or whatever. 5 years out, 5 years after they broke up, roughly 5, and she's in her mid-20s, and Harry starts looking real good. Because she done been on that CC for a minute, and she's getting tired. And she's 27. And then she started calling up random black men on YouTube talking about what I need to do to find my Henry. I'm trying to be a housewife and not work, and I'm tired of getting flued out, and I'm not getting flued out like I did when I was 21 because I'm 27 now, and the new models are on the lot. What do I need to do to make sure I can get Keith Henry? Then instead of hollering at Steve Harvey, she ends up hollering at somebody like this. And then after a lot of this starts going on, she realized, oh, snap. I already met my husband. I already met my man. That guy I was with for 2 years, and he wanted to be serious with me. He had brought up marriage. He wanted to marry me, and I broke it off because I broke it off before he engaged because I didn't want to turn down the engagement. Yeah, that guy. The guy that was with for 4 years, and he put up with all your BS and your attitude because he was with you from your junior year on through your senior year and the first year or so out of college. Yeah, that guy. You know, the guy that you dumped around, 21 to 23 when all your white colleagues and counterparts, your white, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, and other counterparts were getting married at 21 or 23, you were leaving your boyfriend. You were leaving Harry. Well, not you, but you know women like you. It wasn't you because you got good sense. It wasn't you particularly, you got good sense. It was them other girls that was leaving their Harrys. You got your Harry. That's why you and your husband are watching the show, right? Oh, yeah, you're not married right now. That's right. But it's okay. You got a baby out of the deal. You ain't watching with your husband, but you're watching it with your 3-year-old. But you don't know where his daddy is. He's out living his life. And then you come into men's spaces. And when men are talking about things that women do, you say men are bashing women or trashing women because they're not talking like Steve Harvey and telling women you can put $50,000 and be an elephant when you just a rabbit. I ain't call you a chicken, you're a rabbit. And you were getting rabbit when you was at college, but you wanted to be an elephant while you was a rabbit. You wanted to be an elephant, but you still a rabbit. And now you can't even get rabbit. And then people telling the truth, you say they're bashing, they're downgrading, they're misogynistic, they're toxic, they're this, they're that. So you go to the guys who will tell you what you want to hear, and they'll end up telling you, you're the most lit on the dating scene at 40 years old, and buy my self-love book, and you're a quality queen, and all. I mean, they keep telling you all this shit, but when you look around at Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson, Stefan Labossiere, Ace Metaphor, and any other names that people in the manosphere name, what do you never see in their audience? Oh, you never see these people in the chat room. You never see these men. You never see men because at the end of the day, the end consumer for the product that is women is men. We are the end consumer. They are the end consumer. And any guy who's had to go and get his Denzel, who's been Harry, who's had somebody he cared about, and end up having to get that while he's getting that lash. And you wonder why they are not running back out to get you like they did with that bright-eyed and bushy-tailed exuberance like they did when they was in high school and college when it was all free and new. Well, it's because how you treated them. Not only did you dump them when you should have kept them, you ran around and you got on that CC and hollered at all them fuck boys. And then you went out there and let everybody know that he was just all right. And you told people the reason we're not together because he's kind of And then every other guy knew that we can just get our turn on this doorknob. And everybody knew you messed around and left the good one. So whether that's his story and your particular, guys are out there like, well, cool. Now, they ain't walking around bitter. They're just saying we're going to be cautious because now I'm at a place to where if I was where I am now, then you wouldn't have left him. You'd have been holding on for dear life if you were there, if you were where you are now, then. What do you hear women? Well, if I knew then what I know now. Well, if you'd have had your daddy, if your mama wouldn't have alienated your father, if women hadn't kept telling you that it's always men's fault, if you finally come over to places to start listening to men instead of demonizing for men for talking like men and being direct with you, you might not be in the position you're in right now asking, where are all the good men at? Where are all the good men at? Why can't I find no good men? Look in your resume, look in your history, look in your trash heap. That's where he is. You already had your good man. You just blew it. So when you end up calling into a show and I tell you, 2 years, 4 years, and you're in your 20s, that's a long time to be with somebody. 2 years at 20, that's 10% of your life. 4 years at 20, that's 20% of your life. You need to go on back to that dude on bended knee and see what you can work out. What do you hear? Oh, what? No, I can't do that. So what are you going to do? What's the alternative? You just going to stay out here? Kick it in them streets? See if you can find another one? Keep running the clock out? Think it's men's fault?
African family, so they're very conservative.
Think it's men's fault?
Then you just blew it. You had a guy that was with you.
James, you've been married for 3 years?
How long? 7 years.
Is his wife over there?
No, they are separated.
Oh. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, I would tell you this. Fathers should be involved in this process. I'm hearing all kind of red flags. You know, one, you had a 4-year relationship that you ended with a guy because he lacked ambition, I guess. Seems to be doing just fine for a guy who's like, what, 2 years older than you? He's making $80,000.
Yeah, I realize that now.
Right.
I
realize that now. Making 3 times your age. He sounds like he's doing just fine.
That's true.
How long ago was you talking to him?
He was actually here a few months ago.
So I'm going to Atlanta. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out here, ladies. A lot of you have already met your husband. You just blew it. That's the next show. A lot of you ladies already have met your husband. You just blew it. You had a guy that was with you 4 years, and you ended that relationship. That was a mistake. Honestly, if he was able to put up with your demeanor, I mean, that's must mean he cared about you, had to love you. What do y'all ever talked? Okay, have you apologized to him?
Yes, we were still cool. We were still talking for the few years following.
But he's still talking to you. Does he still contact you?
Yes, he does.
So he still cares about you.
Yes.
Then why don't you get back with the man you should have married years ago and stop playing? Why is that such a revolution? Why is that such a revelation to women? You had a man in your life for years and you dumped him. And he's still cool with you. He'll still talk to you. Why don't you go back? Because you're still using his non-sexual attention. Shout out to Alan Roger Curry.
He has to want it too.
No, ma'am. Why don't you get back with your man you should have married years ago and stop playing?
He has to want it too.
No, ma'am. It's on you to crawl across broken glass to get back to him.
Woo!
He has to want it too. He didn't break up with you. You broke up with him and broke his heart. He has to want it too. No, it's up to you to crawl across broken glass to get back to him. And the first thing was like, woo! See, it's hard for women when they think they're better than you, when they think that they were going to find greener grass on the other side. It's hard for women to put that ego and that pride. And that's why so many of our sisters stay stuck. Ridiculous ego and pride. When you average looking, average job, average person. You had a normal average man and he was able to put up with yourself. And the notion of just humbling yourself and actually crawling back to him because, yeah, you did some damage. It's like, woo! No, I would consider it if he came back to me. Think about what most of these sisters say. I don't know about her in particular. Think about what most of these sisters say. Yeah, I would consider getting back with him if he turned around and came over here and kissed my butt and approached me and brought up the idea. Really? Really?
Broken glass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You fucked up. You had him. 21. 4 years. And you blew him off. Not because he was beating you, whipping you, drug addict, whatever, not cheating on you, whatever bullshit you called here about. He wasn't doing none of that. That ain't what you said. He was a good man. You just threw him out because he wasn't where you thought he should be, which is he was normal. She said he was not spontaneous. You throw away a good man who's a truck driver now, making more money, and he's still in your sights. And she said he has to make it back. I gotta ask you, sis, can you guys stop listening to Steve Harvey and them? Because they got your head thinking that you should be big game when you're a rabbit. Steve don't have no hunters for you. And the hunter that tried to secure you, you think you'll be doing him a favor by going back. Let me be the first one to tell you. Newsflash. If he were to take you back, he's doing you a favor. You're not doing him a favor. I don't know where some of you ladies get off thinking that you should be able to demand the most when you're just normal. He's not this and he's not that. And you're not those things either. Because if you were, you'd already have it by now. Let me also say this truthfully. Truthfully. There are many people, forces out there that have a concerted interest in keeping black men and black women separate. There is a multi-billion-dollar industry built on black men being alone and black women being alone. So much so that the mere thought of a man talking to women freaks people out. To a mere thought of a woman actually moderating her position and saying all black men ain't bad, they want to start calling her pick-me's and slamming her. Think about what happens when somebody just comes along and says, the world's not over. There's still some hope out there for people. I don't know what percentage, but not all of them bad. Now the world is, think about it. Why so much energy to keep the status quo, the chaos? There are people who are like, yeah, stay prideful, stay egotistical, because as long as you're out there by yourself, women, you are a consumer. You have to buy. You have to buy. You have to pay. You have to pay the state for your police, fire department, EMTs, all that. See, all that stuff will be your man. You got to consume. You got to get out and go with your girlfriends to do hot girl summer and dinner parties and all that kind of stuff to fill the void that's missing from what I just put in the chat room. We are social creatures and have a deep underlying desire to find that one perfect person to spend time with for the rest of our days. Just a quote I pulled up from Psychology Today. I don't believe the perfect person part, but you understand the sentiment. We are social creatures. We are social creatures, and there is a market effort to keep black women dysfunctional and alone, and black men the same way. Sorry, I'm not buying. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tell the guys that you left, the guys that you thought weren't good enough, the guys that if they turn around and married a white woman, you'd be calling them sellouts and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not going to tell them they got to lift one finger to come back to you. Nope. You got to go back. See, I'm going to be real clear. If you actually had your guy and you blew it, it's on you to fix it. If it's not going to be chicken or egg, man got to lead, knock all that bull crap off. You blew it, you go back. That's the test. If you can't go back, congratulations. Enjoy the open dating market where there are 2 million more black women than black men. And depending upon what kind of man you want, he got to be over 6 feet tall, over 6 figures. You're trying to get an even smaller piece of the pie the older you get. Let's talk about it. I know many. Why can I tell that story? Because I know dozens of men who this has happened to. I'm not going to say anybody's name, but I've seen this so many times in my personal life. You know, men who loved women when they were young, but the women just didn't want to settle down. What in the French toast? Men wanting to settle down, but women, I don't want to settle down because you were told, because you halfway cute, that you could get a millionaire because you sitting on gold. And it turns out you realize it wasn't. Every guy after the one you dumped was less than this guy. And instead of going back to him off the rip and saying, oh my God, Harry, I made the biggest mistake. I went out here and I dated Reggie. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did. What do I have to do to fix it? I'll do whatever you ask. Please just give me another chance. I messed up. Please, please. Miss Harry, will you please tell Harry to take me? Please, please, Miss Harry, please. Miss Big Mama Harry, Miss Big Mama Harry, please, Miss Big Mama Harry, please. Oh, my Harry bad. He won't take me, Pastor, he won't take me. And then having Pastor Big Mama and Mama Harry, look here, Harry, I know she messed up, but the girl done called and cried. She didn't cut Big Mama's yard, and she took her money out of tithes and offerings, and she then went over here and bought a turkey. Now look, boy, I know you mad at her. I know she messed up, but this woman did have me, Big Mama, the pastor, the church ladies. She's at your house every morning with muffins for the last 7 days. Can you at least listen to her? I think this time she may be serious. Now that's your mama saying that. But see, there's some black women, there were some women in the chat room be like, oh, hell no. I would never humiliate myself for that. Oh, no. You'll just go ahead and put more miles on the car. You'll just keep being Avis Rent-A-Car, right? You'll just keep being Enterprise. Enterprise will get you there. You'll keep being Uber. Come on. Keep running that total up. Whoop, whoop. Like the sign on McDonald's. 1 billion served. Like the guy who loved you wasn't good enough. The guy who was into you wasn't good enough. No, you think you're going to go find it out there, just random out there on the market. I don't know why y'all think y'all going to randomly find it out on the dating market when you couldn't find it, when you already found it when you was on the college campus or in a controlled environment in your youth, in your early times. The people you find early on in life are the people who fall in love or fall in like or whatever with the real you. Not your income, not your car. They like you for you. Just face it. You weren't raised to be a girlfriend or a wife. It freaked you out. It freaked you out. It freaked you out when you was too young and you were too silly to handle it. He was too nice too soon. How many women do you know have told a man, yeah, he was too good too soon. I wasn't ready to be serious. Oh, you wanted to go out and be a slizzy? Oh, okay. All right, cool. How'd that work out for you? See, other folks will sit down and square up. You know, Becky will go ahead and be like, I am not trying to be out here by myself. I'm trying to get squared away. Nope, I'm good. I had my sorority fun. I was drunk at parties, passed out. We did all that stuff, but now that's a wrap. I'm done. I've got PTA meetings and cookies to bake. Nope. But you out here commuting every day pre-COVID. You out here driving to work, fighting, paying tolls, packing lunches because you're broke. Because it ain't like you're making all that money. It ain't like a lot of women out here just making all this damn money. You got an average job, doing average things, just like that woman who was a teacher's aide, leaving your husband. And talking about getting a high value man. What? You had him. You had him. But that means I gotta actually do what? I mean, can he come back to me? I mean, can he watch this show and know that that's me and know that I'm thinking that I want him to come back to me and know that if he comes back to me, I'll take him back? Can he do all that? Why do I have to do that? All this damn pride, man. Pride gonna keep you alone. Join the show, ladies. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me how I'm off while Steve was right. You could be a Cape Buffalo. You could be a lion. You could be a tiger. You can be whatever. Why are you telling women they got to settle and go back? I ain't telling you got to do nothing. I'm telling you already had him. I'm telling you already had him and you blew it. And the universe is telling you that too, because ain't nobody since then tried to be serious with you. Ain't nobody since then tried to actually, quote unquote, settle you down. That's what the universe is telling you. Ain't that right? You can ask some questions on the. You can ask the questions you want on the show. Yazzie B. He'll be interested to hear what kind of relationship you have. Period. Because we know it can't be. What Yazzie in here all the time. Yazzie, why don't you have your boyfriend come onto the show with you? Who is Lee? I'm okay. Steve White, man. Steve's wife is a retread, man, and Steve know what he doing. I don't want to hear from Lee. I'll listen. Hey, Counselor Church, chill out, man. Don't go over the top now. I got it. I got it. I got it. And see, the thing is, when these guys are out and about doing their thing, and when they mess around and end up with, Marisol or Maria, and you want to see something real foul. You want to see something real foul is to see a black man in Atlanta with a Hispanic woman. When I see a CIA looking black man, a Henry looking black man with a Hispanic woman, and to see some of these women in Atlanta who just wow. Like, why y'all mad? Y'all want him? Why y'all want it? Did y'all want him? Okay. Yazzie always gonna be here. Yazzie got a crush on me, man. Don't y'all know? Yazzie got a crush. She got a crush on me. Yeah, Emmanuel said the scenario you painted happened to my best friend, got married under a year. I'm telling you, Emmanuel, I have seen it dozens of times, my brother. Emmanuel, you're the guy with the oh yeah, you're with the PhD lady, right? I think that was you. Because I remember your name. I think his name was spelled with an I. What was her name? Her name was Tiffany, I think. Yeah. Brothers aren't no. Mm-mm. There you go, classy young man. There you go, classy young man. So, and this is the thing, you can't get mad at brothers when they have tried to be with a sister early on. And you always trying to hold out for, you know what we called it? This is what we called it back in the day. We called it, she's holding out for the bigger nigga. That's what we called it back in the day. She's holding out for the bigger nigga. He's going to be bigger money, taller, bigger whatever, the bigger nigga. That's what we called it. She's holding out for the bigger nigga. That's what we called it. So my thing is, how many women know or feel like they know they've messed up? It's like, dang, I think I've already met him and I blew it. What do I do? Well, see, that's where you need to help him in, because Steve Harvey can't help you. That's where you need to help him in, because you may not be in interaction with the guy. You may not be in interaction with the guy. But if he's single and you're single, if he's unmarried, let me go ahead and give you some good advice, ladies. If he is unmarried, you better do what you got to do. You can catch him by aeroplane, or you can get there how you can. If he is unmarried, there is time. He got a girlfriend, but don't go back playing. Dwayne Wayne did it on what was it? A Different World. If you ladies talking about you want to be married and all these things, you need to be going after your man more serious than you went after your degree and your college and your career. Get here if you can. That's what. That's it. Or I mean, I don't want to see a bunch of cat ladies. I don't. I really don't. I do not want to see that world. I'd rather not. I'd rather not, man. Go ahead and speak, man. I'm going to make a video. I think I'm going to do a video series. If I could speak to Steve Harvey, what I would say. If I could talk to Steve, some things I would say. Now, why is the world like this? Unfortunately, since the 1960s, 70s, women have been told they can have it all. And no one can have it all. Men, we've lived in a country that gives participation trophies and not competition. Now we're at 2020 and we're realizing we become a softer, weaker society. You need to compete. You need men to be competitive, and that relies testosterone and aggression. That means you're going to end up having to have men out here who are going to have to put in hours. They're not going to be house. If you want a man to be able to pay the cost to be the boss, that means you're going to have to be the woman in the house. If you can get that. If you can get that. No one wants to be normal anymore. No one wants to be average. Zion. Hello? No one wants to be normal. No one wants to be normal anymore. Go ahead and speak. Speak. And the thing is, when I can say average and people get offended, I'm like, why are you offended? Somebody's saying you're average. Hello. All right, I'm going to go ahead and remove you because you can't seem to get it together. Let me go ahead and put you back. So let's go ahead and ask this question. Ladies, all seriousness, ladies, the question now is, do you want to win or do you want to look good losing? Hello. Do you want to win or is it that you just want to look good while you're losing? See, that ego, that pride, that'll make you look good to the public, to the world that thinks you are strong, independent, sassy, the sapphire, don't need no man. That whole thing, you can look like that woman I said that I worked with, who I walked into her office and she was just completely broke down because she's like, I can't continue to do this no more. I'm not this strong. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was like, God damn, Angela, really? Angela had that, and she had the coldest fur. Angela's style was like, and I'm a style guy. Angela's style was cold, cold. This woman just gave up the ghost. Fur coat behind the wall over there. She had just cried her whole face off. It looked like the Joker or something. Remember RoboCop when the cop rolled into the toxic waste, and he came out. That's what she looked like. She was just like, fuck it, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to make up money. I can't take care of. She just gave it. I was like, shit. I mean, just in the wow. I don't know if you've ever seen a woman give it up like that. She didn't know nobody was around, and she was into it so much she couldn't stop it. And I'm like, fuck. I mean, she was just like, and to her credit, she did not try to put on a brave face the next day. She was different from that point on. I was like, and it made me start to wonder how many more of these sisters are walking around like this. So why do you think we have so many women on antidepressants and psych meds? Why do you think we've had a